So let's look at some different kinds of applications in manufacturing. And in our 10 years of looking at different applications, we have done almost a few hundred, at the very least, a few hundred, if not analyzed at least close to 1,000 different applications. But they all fall under one of these 8, right? And each of these 8 applications has a distinct challenge or a distinct problem that needs to be solved, right? And let's look at each one of these individually. So the 8 are object detection, measurement, flaw detection. A subset of flaw detection is print defect detection, right? That's also a flaw detection, but it's a little bit different. So that's why it's its own application. Identification, OCR or optical character recognition, and then we have what is called classification, and I'll go into all the details, and locating, right? These are the 8. So almost everything in manufacturing falls under one of these 8. Now I will go through these examples, and if you can think of an application which doesn't fall in one of these, I would love to hear from you. I've done this a couple of times, but I've yet to find an application which doesn't fall in one of these 8. But I'm always looking out to learn from the audience, so please let me know. Okay, so let's look at the first one, object detection, right? So as the name suggests, the purpose of object detection is to detect an object present in the image, right? Now, so let's go back to the definition of machine vision, right? The definition of machine vision is to acquire a digital image and then compute a result, right? So you have an image, and what is the result that you want? If you want to detect the presence of an object, right? In this particular case, as an example, the different shelves in a refrigerator, or the compartment of the freezer, or it could be the presence of a manual. When you're manufacturing a refrigerator, you insert a manual, or maybe an egg tray, right? Or an ice cube tray. So these are all different kinds of objects that are present, and the purpose of this is to detect the presence and absence of this, right? That's object detection. Clear? So there's a question, Natesh Kumar asks, what about rubber components inspection, right? So the applications in machine vision is less about what you're inspecting, right? It's not about whether you're inspecting a rubber component or it could be an engine component. It's really what in that component are you inspecting, right? So in that rubber component, are you trying to inspect defects, right? Like scratches and burrs and maybe extra material present in these rubbers, or are you trying to measure something? So that is what I would call an application, right? So that's an important distinction. It's the application of machine vision should be thought about not in terms of what is it that you're inspecting, but rather what feature or what characteristics about that object you're trying to detect, right? So in any image, if you want to detect a specific object present, right, it could be any object, you would use an object detection methodology. Okay. The second distinct application is measurement, right? A very common application of machine vision is measurement, right? So the purpose of measurement is to measure physical dimensions of an object or a part, right? As an example, this is a rubber beading, and you want to measure the thickness of this rubber beading, right? And that's an example of a measurement. Another example is you have a washer. You want to measure the diameter of this washer, or it could be an automotive piston, and you want to measure the thickness of that piston component, right? The OD, the outer diameter. So all those come under measurement. So what is measurement? Measuring a physical dimension. So in this particular case, measurement, I've just said purpose is to measure physical dimensions of an object. Now, if you think about it, in the image space, what is the dimension in the image space, right? Pixel, right? So your pixel is the dimension in the image space, but in a measurement, the physical dimension is a physical dimension like mm, centimeters, millimeter, micrometer. So here you're really converting dimensions in the image space, which is pixels, to a physical dimension, which is mm, micrometer. And in order to do that, you have a process known as calibration, right? To calibrate an mm to the certain physical image pixel coordinates. Now, not to go too detailed into this, the calibration is a little more advanced than just a simple ratio. It is not a simple ratio that 3 pixels is 1 mm. You need, a more complex calibration, which is spatially oriented. Okay, but again, measurement is to compute physical dimension. Okay, the third applications you typically see is flaw detection, right? Now, what is flaw detection? Flaw detection is to identify surface defects. Okay, surface defects. Now, what this means is that you have a smooth or a finished surface or and you're trying to identify deviations from the smoothness or the finished surface. And what are some of the examples? Examples could be paint defects in automotive parts, right? It could be a scratch or a crack on a metallic surface, right? So you have some surface or some kind of an object which has what is an acceptable finish, and any deviation from that acceptable finish is a flaw, right? And that is flaw detection, and that's the third kind of application that you typically see in machine vision, right? And here, the part, again, it's nothing to do with the part. The flaw could be on an automotive, it could be on a plastic component, it could be on a metallic finished surface, it could be on, some kind of engine component, it could be bearings, it could be, roller bearings, right, or the tapers. So anything which has some kind of finish and you want to detect flaws is flaw detection. Okay. Now, as I said, a specialized form of flaw detection. So a specialized form of flaw detection is print defect detection. Now, why do I call it? What is print defect detection? Is to identify printing defects. And what are printing defects? It could be smudges, missing registration. It could be extra marks on a particular print. It could be misouts of certain characters. So in the example at the top, there are some black smudges on this green printed surface, right? You want to identify these black smudges. Another example is if you look at this FoodTech Global, which is printed in this image below. Just before this F, there is some smudges as well. So you want to detect that. Right. Another example, if you look at this factory, what is as factory, the Y is not completed. There is some ink missing on the Y. So these are examples of printing defects. Now, printing defects is actually a very complex application, mainly because the pattern of printing varies quite a bit. So it's not always the same printing pattern or image or template that you're trying to identify. And typically printing, like the labels keep varying, right? You may be doing a lot of different printing jobs for different customers. And so you want to train the system to look for defects across all these different variants. That's why print defects is a little bit of a more complex kind of application and requires a specialized approach, right? So now, what's the next one? The next one, and again, a very common application is identification. Identification is nothing but reading a barcode, right? Now, today, a lot of traceability, track and trace applications is being implemented across different manufacturing lines. And if you look at identification is one common way to or 2D barcoding is one common way to implement this traceability, right? And as you might know, the different types of barcodes: 1D code, 2D codes, etc. And machine vision is typically used for 2D codes because a 1D code reader can be read without a camera, right? But a 2D code requires a camera, mainly because it is a two-dimensional characteristic. It has two-dimensional properties, and that's why it requires two-dimensional analysis, and that requires cameras. So, example, reading a barcode printed on an automotive part, right? So that can be laser etched or dot peened. Another example is reading a 2D code on a carton for a logistics application. So, identification is the next kind of application. The next application is OCR. Again, a very common application. OCR, the purpose is to read a string of characters. Now, the difference between identification and OCR is that OCR is human readable characters, right? So a human can read these strings, and you are training a machine using machine vision to be able to automate this reading, right? Now, what's an example? An example could be serial number printed on an automotive part, right? So you have maybe in automotive parts, you have a VIN number, vehicle identification number, which is printed on the engine chassis. And if you are automating some kind of process and you want to identify what is the VIN for some kind of a record keeping, traceability or tracking purpose, you want to use OCR, optical character recognition, to be able to read that and store that number in your ERP or your MES system, etc. Another example is to read a pharma label that's printed on using a laser or inkjet printer. And the objective of OCR, there are three main objectives with OCR, right? The first objective is just to read that information for record keeping, for track and trace purposes. The second objective is to identify whether the right content has been printed, right? So you're doing some kind of a poke-yoke. Let's say in a serial number of a pharma label, you want to make sure that the right MRP or the right expiry date is printed. So here you're verifying the content of the OCR. The third example is to verify the readability, is to ensure that, okay, can you actually read this? Because if this is going to go outside to the market and there are other consumers or your customers are expected to read this, you want to make sure that the character is readable. So all these three objectives can be met by adopting an OCR technology with machine vision. Okay, so that's the next kind of application. Another application is classification. Now, classification is the purpose is to classify or sort an image to different categories or a class. So, if you think about all the previous examples that we covered, measurement, object detection, flaw detection, OCR, identification, etc. What are we doing? We are taking an image and we are looking for a specific sub-feature or a specific feature within that image. If it's object detection, we are looking for an object that's present in the image, right? The example that we used was the refrigerator. We were looking for those shelves, right? If it's the measurement, we were looking for the thickness of that rubber beading. So we were looking for the left edge and the right edge of that rubber beading, and we wanted to inspect the thickness, right? Now, all these actually looked at a feature within the image. In classification, it's different than that. What we're here doing, we are just looking at the image itself, and without looking at any of the features inside, you are trying to categorize it to a class. That means it comes, this is class A, this is class B, or this is category A, or category B, or category C, right? You're not trying to identify, okay, what is written over here, or what is, the thickness of this. And that's a classification, right? Now, I would say this sort of application is becoming more and more popular with artificial intelligence, right? Because artificial intelligence is then able to analyze the image in a more granular way to then come up with this categorization. So let's look at some example. One example is SKU identification, right? So here you have different brands of Nescafe. You have Nescafe Classic, Nescafe Gold, and then Nescafe Gold Blend, right? A bigger bottle. Now, by just taking an image, you want to categorize Nescafe Classic as Class A, Nescafe Gold Blend, the smaller one, as Class B, and the third one as Class C, right? Now, if you were to do this, what you would do is you would look at the shape, you would look at, maybe different features. But there is techniques in AI where you don't have to do that. You can just give it an example of a Class A, a Class B, and Class C, and the software is automatically able to do this for you. So that is classification. So that's why it's a different application. Another example is looking at different bearings and identifying the part number by just looking at the image. So here, there are different bearing parts, and let's say you want to sort it, and you want to make sure that there's no mismatch and to mix up. So you can use classification to identify which bearing belongs to which class, and if there's any mix-ups, you can easily identify which is the odd one, right? So that's the second last one. The last kind of application in machine vision is called locating. The purpose of locating is to locate the coordinates of an object of interest within the image. And the most common application of locating is robotic guidance, right? And why robotic guidance? Because for a robot to be able to pick an object, a common application is a pick and place operation, right? You're picking an object, placing it, or getting some processing done with that object. If the coordinates, if the object is always present in a fixed coordinate, in a predictable coordinate, then there is no problem, because you can train the robot coordinates to always go to this X, Y, Z, and say the object will always be present. But if there is some change, or the object is not in a fixed location, it comes in an unpredictable location, then you have to dynamically locate the object and give the coordinates of the object to the robot. And that is an application in machine vision called locating, right? And so here, obviously, a more advanced computation has to be done, because in the machine vision space, the pixel coordinates are different. In the robot coordinate system, the coordinate systems are different. So you have to calibrate the two coordinate systems, right? So it requires mapping the coordinate systems of the robot as well as the imaging space. But that's the final application.